Hello everyone, it's TVS Vigilant here, and I'm here to speak to you about Christmas, because, well, obviously it's a very important time of year for many people, but I would actually like to destroy the topic of Christmas. I would like to expose it as a pagan tradition, and as something which is not to be celebrated by Christians. In fact, no, I'm going to go over something a bit more. Christmas, if you celebrate it, I'm not going to condemn you, but I'm going to very, very certainly get you to question the way you celebrate it, because it all depends on the way you celebrate it. But first and foremost, we need to establish for a fact that Jesus was not born on December the 25th. Now, and this is the whole way we can tell that Christmas, at least in Christmas the way we realise it, is not Christian. It's not Christian order, because Book of Luke chapter 2 verse 8, I think it is, yeah. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And this was just before Christ had been, this is just after Christ had been, born. As you can see, it's the nativity of Christ. So the point is, the reason why this is so important, because they wouldn't be watching over in winter, okay? They wouldn't be watching over, so it has to be one of the other seasons. Now, which season? There is indeed debate among that. But some believe it's in springtime, some believe it's summer, some believe it's autumn. But the point is, I don't care which month it was. The important thing is that it wasn't in December. It wasn't December 25th. It couldn't have been. It wasn't possible. The scriptures clearly indicate this. So why do people celebrate on December 25th is the question. Well, I like to identify for that. The very first time when Christmas is celebrated on December 25th was, I think it was 336 AD. And it was by the Roman Catholic Church, or no, it was Emperor Constantine who did actually go ahead with the Roman Catholic Church. So as you can already see, he was a pagan before then. And what he did was, it was the sun god, I think it was Mira or something like that. He was born December 25th. He was born December 25th. Therefore, he just switched the days. Someone who was previously a pagan, and he mixed paganism with Christianity. Due to many various things. I believe I may have covered it in a previous video. If not, I will cover it in another one. But the point is, it's a pagan tradition. They've swapped the sun god to the son of God. Now, I want to stress, if you are celebrating the birth of Christ on December 25th, I'm not going to condemn you. Because first and foremost, it's not my duty to condemn you. But second of all, I don't think it's bad to celebrate his birth. But many of the things which happen with Christmas, it's sinful to do. For example, let's go to the book of Isaiah. I'll find it. Right, let's get this. Right, 1 minute. There we go. 1 minute. Chapter. I'm not sure. I think it's 40. I forgot which chapter, to be honest with you. Let's go to Jeremiah 10 first. So, Jeremiah 10. Hear ye the word which of the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the ways of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the sides of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of a workman, with the axe. They deck it with silver, with gold, and they fasten it with nails, with hammers, and they move it, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must need be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither do it also as it's in them to do good. Now, this is Jeremiah 10. I just went to this first because it rang a bell, and I'm just trying to remember which, but I think it was chapter 40 in Isaiah. But basically, this is prohibiting. This is talking about Christmas trees in a sense. Now, it wasn't talking exactly about Christmas trees, but it is speaking about these vain traditions of cutting the trees out and decorating them with all this stuff. That sounds an awful lot like Christmas trees to me. So the question is, if the book of Jeremiah is prohibiting things like this, it is in a sense prohibiting it. And if it isn't prohibiting it, then it is in a sense, because it does later on, the Bible does indeed prohibit tree worship, and that is in fact what we're doing. We're making a tree an idol. People do make idols of Christmas trees. Atheists do. The very fact is, the Christmas tree is the big idol. How many people believe? I don't even know why Christians even put it in there. What's it supposed to celebrate? What is this Christmas tree supposed to celebrate? Please tell me. It does nothing. It does nothing. It is quite simply an idol which the Bible prohibits. And let's get to Isaiah. Now, I'm going to hope that we can find it. But yeah, anyway, we've got a family here, so I'm going to have to cut this off pretty soon. But at the end of the day, it's a pagan tradition, so if I were you, I look more deep into it. And the Santa thing, don't you dare try to tell your kids about Santa, because it's sorcery. It's wrong. That is an idol. He is a false god in a sense. He's an idol. People worship him, and it's wrong. And that's the thing, Christmas promotes all these wrong things. It promotes getting drunk, it promotes sorcery, and Santa, when you think about it, it's an anagram for Satan. Mix up the letters, please. And it's wrong. It is quite simply just wrong. And it is sad. Here we go. Isaiah 40:19. The workman melted the graven image, and the goldsmith spreadeth it over with the gold, and casteth silver chains. He that is so impoverished that he hath no oblation, chooses a tree that will not rot. He seeketh unto him a cunning workman to prepare a graven image that shall not be moved. Again, that's signs of paganism. So again, this is prohibiting the tree, and you want to do this. You take part in prohibited tree worship. And if you do have the Christmas tree right now, I'm not condemning you, but I would just not do it out of respect for the Lord. Now, my house has 4 Christmas trees in it, but that's because I have family who celebrates it. But when I get my own house, I won't be doing that. And hey, as I said, if you're celebrating the birth of Christ on December 25th, that's fair enough. But you've got to be if you do celebrate Christmas, you've got to be very careful in the way you do it. Because if you celebrate it the way the world does it, you are committing deep sin. But if you don't have any Christmas trees in there and you're just treating it like a normal day, but you're focusing more on the birth of Christ, and sure, you can have a good meal. There's no problem with having a good meal. If you do all this, then hey, there's no problem with that. If you want to celebrate Christmas in a way like that, that is no problem. If you want to just like spend the day, studying the scriptures, celebrating the birth of Christ, and if you want to just have a cool feast at the end of it, I don't have a problem with that. I don't believe that's prohibited. But don't treat it like some holy day, because if it was a holy day, it would be in the scriptures. It would tell us to do it. Personally, if I was going to celebrate it, I'd celebrate it with Maple. No, yes, today I will indeed be thankful for Christ, but to be fair, we should be celebrating the birth of Christ every day. The birth and death of Christ should be celebrated daily, not just one day of the year. And this Santa thing, he is an idol, but I'm going to make an entire different video on Santa. These are just a few little scriptures just to prove to you all that Christmas and the traditions, they're false. Jesus was not born on December 25th. Not at all. It's been confirmed. So please, stop following this pagan tradition. Stop worshipping the sun god. Because that is sin. And you are treading thin ice if you are celebrating the way the world does. And here's one thing. If Christmas was of Christ, the world would hate it, but the world loves Christmas. It's the world's favourite holiday, pretty much. So if it was the world's favourite holiday, then why would it be Christian? Because we all know full well from the scriptures that we are to be hated. Does that make sense? To me, it makes sense. But the way I see it, it's all getting worse, and it's all going to come to an end one day. Plus, even atheists celebrate Christmas. Muslims celebrate. Everyone, even Jews do it. I don't know why Jews do it. Everyone does. So why are you doing it when you know it's of the world? Because the very fact is that if the world's doing it, we shouldn't really be doing it, because we know what the world does, we should be doing. And if you do celebrate Christmas, Celebrate it in a Christian way and get rid of the tree, please. And get rid of Santa. TVS aims are not for that.